Questions, grief, and uncertainty. It's now been 1 week since a chemical tank ruptured at a Longview paper mill, killing 11 people. We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm David Mulco, and as the cleanup continues and the investigation begins, the community is once again coming together to support each other and the families who've lost so very much. In an update from firefighters today, we have learned 3 people wounded in the blast are still in the hospital. Meanwhile, at the Nippon Dynawave pulp and paper mill, vacuum trucks are working to remove waste, including that toxic chemical known as white liquor. And the Labor Department is examining what went wrong, a process they say could take up to 6 months. Environmental monitoring also continues, though state officials say pH levels in ditches around the plant are finally back to normal. They've now found more than 2,400 fish that died in the ditch and dike system, likely in that initial chemical spill. Throughout the week, co-workers, neighbors, and strangers have rallied around the families of the 11 workers killed. Catherine Cook's in Longview tonight, where a benefit concert brought more people together.
In Longview, the line outside the Columbia Theater wrapped around the building. Everyone here thinking of the Nippon Dynawave disaster.
I think all of us have been touched by losing somebody or somebody that we know or someone that our children went to school with.
It is so surreal. It is just, just hard to imagine something like that. If you were these families, you know what I mean? And so we're just here to help.
The theater hosted a benefit concert Tuesday night. All proceeds going to victims' families. Tickets, $30.
I wish I could give more. I'm reaching down deep to figure out how I can give more.
Looking over West Virginia.
Inside the theater, Court Carpenter and Dakota Robbins took the stage, both from Washington. Their music and hearts sold out every seat.
Every penny right now helps those families.
Elsewhere in Longview, more fundraising efforts. This one, a raffle at Mary's Bar and Grill. It's Delta Waterfowl's weekly fundraiser, but on this night, they're donating proceeds to victims.
We care a lot about each other, even when we have the differences of opinions, whether it be political, religious, whatever it may be. Everyone's coming together, and everyone cares about these families.
The community is just heartbroken.
Back at the theater, the music plays on for a community that's closer than ever. Organizers tell us they sold out and raised $35,000 for victims' families. If you'd like to help, just head to KGW.com, where you'll find an address to a secure account where you can send a check. In Longview, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Developing tonight, fire crews are making good progress on a wildfire that popped up this afternoon a couple of miles southwest of Detroit Lake. The Kinney Ridge fire has charred about 6 acres in a hilly and uninhabited forest area. Crews on the ground say they now have lines set up around 20% of the fire to stop the spread. Helicopters are also dropping water. The fire is listed as human cause, though at this point it means it was not sparked by lightning. The exact cause remains under investigation. Well, it appears the winds and weather are going to cooperate, with temperatures set to cool off dramatically in the next day or two after most of the valley saw highs soar today to the upper 80s. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is here with the first look at your weather impact forecast. And Joe, apparently that includes some rain.
Yeah, David, we saw a fantastic afternoon. We had some high clouds roll in later on in the day, but we still topped out close to 90 degrees at 88 degrees. Right now, we're still at 73 with some clouds starting to move into the picture. This is what it looked like earlier this afternoon. It was not 73 degrees in Hillsborough. There was not that big of a difference in the temperatures from just a 15-minute drive or so. Still in the upper 80s in many locations, pretty much all over the city. 90 degrees over in So that looks to be the warmest spot, and got into the upper 80s along the Dow. So tomorrow, much cooler and cloudy, pockets of some morning drizzle to start things off. And then late this week is when we'll be seeing a chance to see some rain. But it looks like the measurable amount of rain will be holding off until the first part of the weekend. The first weekend of June, or at least the first Saturday of June, is going to be on the wet side. So tomorrow we'll be waking up to mostly cloudy skies. There will be some pockets, a little bit of some sprinkles here and there, but by the afternoon those clouds clear out. We'll be looking at daytime highs right around the upper 60s to the low 70s. I'll talk more about your detailed forecast, David, in just a few minutes.
A lot cooler, but looks like a beautiful day. Thanks, Joe. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, a pedestrian was hit and killed by a car near Salem tonight, and sheriff's deputies say the victim was a minor. This was on Lancaster Drive Southeast near State Street in the Four Corners area. The Marion County Sheriff's Office is not saying what led up to the crash or identifying the victim. A witness, though, describing the victim as a child, says they were trying to cross the street when they were hit. In southeast Portland, a man was shot and killed early this morning in the Hazelwood neighborhood. Officers found a man lying in the street just after 4 on Southeast 122nd with what appeared to be a gunshot wound. Police are not releasing any other details and are asking those with information to please give them a call. And in Washington County, the sheriff's office is worried this sex abuse suspect may have more victims. 53-year-old Jacob Mandis Sr. is accused of sexually assaulting a child in Cornelius over the past 10 years. Detectives say they have reason to believe there may be more victims that have not come forward. In addition to Cornelius, Mandis has also lived in Hillsborough, Astoria, and Vernonia. Now to a KGW investigation you will not see anywhere else into the search for sensitive military equipment. We're talking flight gear, radios, and computers all stolen after an Army flight crew left their equipment into a rented vehicle and parked it in downtown Portland. Kyla Boshi has the exclusive.
What started as a smash and grab has turned into a months-long search for sensitive military equipment stolen from a rental vehicle in downtown Portland. According to a federal search warrant, a U.S. Army flight crew was on a 2-day mission returning a helicopter to Oregon. During their stopover, the crew parked their rented vehicle outside a hotel in downtown Portland. On October 30th, the soldiers reported someone smashed the window and stole nearly $33,000 worth of equipment, including electronics, flight gear, and iPads. But the most alarming loss? Specialized survival radios. Court records showed they're built for when a helicopter is downed, capable of reaching military personnel around the globe, even those in sensitive locations. Records show Portland police pulled a palm print off the rental vehicle and made an arrest in December, but the charge was dropped because prosecutors couldn't prove the man entered the vehicle and stole the equipment. Then, in March, a helmet showed up online. Someone was selling a pilot helmet on Facebook Marketplace, which matched the stolen flight gear. Investigators later found more evidence, including 3 helicopter pilot helmets sold on eBay. According to court records, federal agents tracked the eBay account to this Clackamas apartment. And on May 20th, federal investigators went in, searched the property, and questioned this man, Stephen Reginato.
What did they ask you?
Nothing really. Yeah.
What did they collect?
What they came for?
Records show federal agents recovered 2 military radios, but one is still missing, and the helmets were long gone, according to the search warrant, sold to buyers out of state. Kyla Boshi, KGW News.
All right, it is primary election night in California with all eyes on the governor race there with Gavin Newsom term limited. 61 candidates, 61 on the ballot in the top 2 primary with results too close to call, too early to call initial results. Keep in mind, most Californians vote by mail show Republican and Trump-endorsed commentator Steve Hilton in the lead there with Democrat and former Cabinet Secretary Javier Becerra a close second. The top 2 candidates, regardless of party, will advance to November's general election.
As long as we can make it into the top 2, Californians will be able to change the trajectory of our state away from policies that have given us the highest poverty rate, the highest unemployment rate in the country, the highest cost of living.
We are not going to let a billionaire or Trump's handpicked candidate take over this state. We are not going to let them buy an election. And we are not going to step aside while they dismantle the dream my mother and my father believed in when they came to California.
Meanwhile, LA Mayor Karen Bass is running for re-election and currently in the lead with reality TV star Spencer Pratt not too far behind. The Associated Press declaring that Bass will advance to November's runoff. Right now, it is not called the number 2 spot. Meanwhile, developing about 100 miles north, crisis negotiators in Bakersfield, California are working to resolve a hostage situation at a bank there. Authorities say a man barricaded himself inside around 1 this afternoon, saying he had a bomb. In the last 2 hours, police said a second hostage has been released. The first was let go just before 5. Negotiators say the rest have not been hurt. Federal authorities are also now working to help end the standoff safely. In an update, the Bend doctor who helped treat passengers suffering from hantavirus on an expedition cruise ship has reportedly returned home. The Oregonian reporting that Dr. Stephen Kornfeld landed in Redmond on Monday and had dinner with his wife at opposite ends of a large table on their outdoor patio. Kornfeld, who spent more than 3 weeks at a federal quarantine facility in Nebraska, never contracted the virus. His quarantine will last nearly another 3 weeks. The doctor telling the O he is doing, quote, phenomenally well.